What's up, everybody? I'm back. I know it's been a while, but I am officially back. Took a little break from streaming. Had some things going on in my life that were pretty cool, but ultimately did not end in anything permanent. Let's just say that. But I am back. I'm ready to paint. I got a new light, so hopefully this looks a little better. A little channel update. I put the label for profanity and marijuana use because I was thinking about it. I figure if this is going to be my channel, like, I smoke weed pretty much 24/7. I mean, I'm wearing a shirt that says, "Where were you on 420?" So it's like, if I want to make a channel that's like all about, what I like to do, I'm going to have to fucking just smoke, Like, it's part of my life. So, that being said, welcome back to stream number 68. Almost at that 69 number. Giggity. So, yep. I'm going to be working on this painting. This painting I started a little while ago, and I'm putting in this new pattern. Still got the stream painting here, so maybe we'll work on this later. But this bad boy. Oh, and in a little bit, I'll show everybody, or nobody, or I'll just talk to myself, but I made a sculpture that I'm extremely proud of. Let me pull up chat just in case somebody does stop by. Okay. Check. Looks like mic is good. I really hope it is. I checked the thing for YouTube too, so that should work. Alright, so let's see. What we got? Danny Sheehan reveals new info about Luis Elizondo. Let's try that.
All right, betters, we've got some interesting news. According to UFO lawyer Danny Sheehan, who is the head counsel of the New Paradigm Institute, Luis Elizondo has gone to Washington, D.C. to brief the Trump administration. Let's dive into this.
We were going to have Lou here tonight. Up until yesterday morning, he was prepared to come. He's gotten called to Washington, D.C. He has been and is going to be meeting with Donald Trump Jr. To brief him more on this issue and others inside the administration. And so he is not going to be here.
So that's interesting news, right? So that was March 13th at an event, a live event where Luis Elizondo was allegedly going to be, and Danny Sheehan just reveals there, yeah, look, he was going to be here, but he went to brief Donald Trump Jr. and members of the Trump administration about UFOs, right? UAP. Now, why is that interesting? Well, it's good to know who's out there briefing and doing this and making movements. So clearly, Luis Elizondo is behind the scenes making these moves. I mean, he's on his own book tour as well, so he took time to go do that. I'm curious, more than anything, about these sort of, when you hear stories like this, oh, this person briefed this and briefed that and briefed them and whatever, that's all interesting. What I'm more curious about is what happens post-briefing, right? What actions does the person that got briefed take on that briefing? Does that make sense? All right, because they could get it and throw it in a drawer and never think about it again. And then we're like, oh, they briefed them. Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's true. More how effective is this sort of briefing, right? How effective will it be that Luis Elizondo goes and talks to Don Jr.? Well, to give us a little context, there is a little history between Don Jr. and Luis Elizondo, as you can see from this clip right here.
Pretty sure Don Jr. is the one that is into the whole UFO thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe Barron is too. It seems like Barron Nobody really wants to say it, but pretty sure Barron's the one who got him reelected. Because if he hadn't gone on all those podcasts, I don't think he would have got
We're
it.
seeing objects that are not just doing that speed, but think of 10,000, 13,000 miles an hour being clocked on radar, multiple different radar systems, and it was being clocked back in the 1950s. Now, temporally speaking, one could say, yeah, maybe we had that technology today somewhere,
Wow,
some
that's
country.
dark. Oh,
But if you look where we were in the 1950s, temporally speaking, it just doesn't make sense. That would be like going into King Tut's tomb for the very first time, chiseling away that plaster wall, and all of a sudden seeing behind that wall a fully assembled 747 jet.
Yeah, I mean, 1950s technology. That was like the beginning of like the F-15 era or something like that, right?
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
before that, actually, we're talking F-105s, we're talking Sabres.
Okay, yeah, maybe that thing is the 60s. Yeah, because
yeah,
that's 50-year-old
well before-
technology. Yeah, I'm thinking 50 years, not 1950s. But yes, 100%.
Yeah, so we're talking about technology that we have been encountering over controlled U.S. airspace, over sensitive military installations for the better part of 70 years.
what is
That
Don
even
Jr.
today
doing the government
we
now?
can't replicate those performance characteristics.
And that was a live stream that was done back in January, actually right before the weekend, right before Trump was inaugurated, right? So around the 20th or 19th, 18th, yeah, right, somewhere in there, January, right when UFO whistleblower Jake Barber came out. Essentially, I remember this live stream, and he's gone and talked to John Jr. a couple times. So that's why I think this is happening, because they've already had a previous relationship. So Luis Elizondo's going up. Now, was he invited? Did Luis... That's also interesting to know. Was Luis Elizondo invited for this briefing, right? Don Jr. saying, hey, man, I got some people come up to Washington, tell us some stuff. Or did Luis Elizondo go to them with, hey, I have something to tell you?
I think Don
right?
Jr. reached out.
Because Don Jr. already knows about a lot of this stuff that
Yeah.
he's been told. So the fact that there'll be other members of the administration, it can seem like Don Jr. is sort of the middleman here, helping bring together Luis Elizondo with members of that administration, right? So I don't know. Curious about all the details. So I guess we'll find out. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting about this briefing is something Dr. Stephen Greer said about Luis Elizondo and Don Jr. Because you see, Dr. Stephen Greer has also briefed Donald Trump Jr.
Oh no.
So I, briefly had a quick chat with Don Jr. at a meeting, and he had been
quick
taken
chat.
in by
He didn't
a known
brief him.
counterintelligence person named Lou Elizondo, who is someone working to intercept these whistleblowers and then
You seem
turn.
to be a big fan of his. It's what I hear.
No, Elizondo is a paid disinformation person. And
How convinced are you of that?
100%. I have an email from the top
Brother.
guy at the CIA who was there when Ronald Reagan wanted
The
to know
top
about
guy
this when
at
he
the
was running
CIA.
for governor.
Dude, he is so
who
full
was
of
a very young
shit.
postdoc, and he immediately wrote and said, this is what he's doing. Now, recently, Mr. Elizondo has started saying more correct information. Initially, he said, all of these objects out here, we don't know what they are or how they fly. Now he's admitting we have the man-made ones. And I'll tell you, the mass
Oh,
majority
man. Oh,
of
God.
UFOs people see, they're not from outer space. They're not
Man, you
alien, they're
click
ours.
one wrong thing and
They
you're
have
fucked,
dangerously
right?
been used in
Jesus.
false flag operations and deceptive operations, or the Pentagon calls it deceptive, indication and warning, or deceptive INW. The pop culture would be false flag, which means you just set up a decoy, you set up a false operation. So that was his primary responsibility when he first emerged, was to gaslight officials, gaslight Congress, and intercept witnesses.
That's a job, right? So
It's
so
a very big job, and there are a lot of people like that out there in what we call the legacy UFO subculture. They're embedded. I mean, they're not going to wear a sign to say, "Hey, I'm from, this operation." But
is it an actual is there actually a undisclosed division where your job is to gaslight and confuse people, or is it
absolutely,
or
That's the
is it
CIA, but-
everyone's job to gaslight and distract? Because
No.
like the opposite of a marketing, how like the
Yes,
propaganda
right,
book that
right.
was written,
right.
the opposite of marketing, which is you're marketing a lie to confuse the American people.
You can just hear in that tiny clip of Stephen Greer, like, if somebody else, if it's not his own voice talking, he is like so pissed off. Like, he loves the sound of his own voice. And he plays it off like some fucking, like he's fucking Jesus, you know? I don't know. I learned a lot of new things about myself past month. Number one, that I am definitely what I guess people would call an empath. I'd never realized it until I saw the definition of it and what it actually means. Because that's exactly how my brain works. I always thought it was just like I could read people really well, but it's way more than that. I thought everybody could feel like other people's feelings and emotions. I don't know. I can literally like read or walk into a room and know something is I don't know, it's so hard to explain. Like something's off, like the energy's off or something. And people lying too. I can just immediately tell. Alright, sorry. See? Rant.
So they're looking here versus here. You're saying there's a division of people that do that intentionally.
Yes, it's a whole counterintelligence, psychological warfare operations out of CIA and other agencies, and that's what they do. And you know, I've known some of these players since the early 90s.
So we can expect Luis Elizondo to show up at Stephen Greer's next birthday party. I'm just kidding. I mean, so Stephen Greer talks to Don Jr., right? And then it's like, oh, he's been taken in by Luis Elizondo, right? Because Don Jr. must have mentioned Luis Elizondo to Dr. Greer, and he's like, you know. But clearly Don Jr. is not inviting Stephen Greer up for briefings and presentations, right? And it's such an interesting angle to take, but I just found that those comments to be just interesting, right?
He loves that
clearly,
word.
it's like no one's really taking Dr. Greer seriously about Luis Elizondo, right? What he's saying. He's 100% certain he's some sort of double agent or something.
Like Richard Doty.
And that's just interesting, right? And clearly, again, Don Jr. doesn't seem to bother him, right? Because there's probably, it's just Dr. Greer saying that, right? Providing no evidence, just saying it, which is interesting. You know, Dr. Greer must feel, you know, pushed out to some extent, right? If he was the one normally doing these types of things, right? Having these meetings, maybe giving some briefings here and there to different, you know, administrations in power. And now you have other people that have stepped in the lane, right? So again, I'm most curious about what actions Don Jr. and the administration will take after having a briefing with somebody like Luis Elizondo, right? So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. We'll see you on the next video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
And this is old music. Shout out to Patrick Embedded. Link will be in the description. Oh, brother. Man, he just can't help himself. Alright, what do we got? Come on. Ugh. How do you watch that? Oh, come on. Excuse me.
I always thought Billy Mitchell was the king of frivolous lawsuits, but he can't even hold a candle to Russia. You remember a few months ago we were
Russia?
talking about how Russia is suing Google for over $2.5 decillion, which is an unfathomable amount of money.
Is
If
that
you
more than
added
a
up
trillion?
every single
I
breath
mean, like,
every single
obviously
human
it's
being
more
has
than a
ever
trillion.
taken since Adam and Eve, it wouldn't even
I mean, how
come
many
close to
times
2.5
higher than-
decillion, let alone 2.5 decillion doubloons being a reasonable amount of money to ask for. It doesn't exist. It can't exist.
It
I
shan't.
just learned about another lawsuit coming from Russia where a Russian League of Legends
Maybe
streamer
it's
has
in
successfully
Russian, like,
sued
doubloons or
Twitch
something.
for over $200 million.
What the
So a
fuck is
little
that?
less than what Google's on the hook for. All because he received a ban on the platform and was able to make a case in Russian court that is trying to enforce a $200 million fine on Twitch for the injustice this League of Legends streamer
Is it in
faced,
rubles?
even though in his entire time on Twitch, he himself only made $2,000. So the math checks out.
Yeah, it
Actually,
does.
you know,
I
that
haven't
seems
made
about par for the course.
anything.
It is so interesting to help put this number in perspective, just how preposterous
I don't think
it
I'll
is.
ever make
There's an
anything, to be
estimated
honest, but-
200 sextillion stars in the known universe. So this League of
And I
Legends
probably
streamer is
won't
looking
talk
to
to more
receive
than-
more money than there are.
I probably won't talk to more than one person, probably in my whole streaming career. Well, actually, it's more than one person. It's been a few, but big guy 19,999. The only person that he's like my only regular viewer, which is cool. I'm cool with that. I've lost followers too. I don't know why it says 19 on my homepage thing. It says 17. I wonder if I can refresh that. I think I'm like losing bot followers. I think that's what's happening. So yeah, where is that? Oh, Twitch. Hold on. Followers. Oh. Refresh. Oh, still says 19. I don't
Are
know why.
stars in the known universe. Good luck. I mean, maybe he'll get some fairy godparents and be able to poof that money into existence, because that's the only way that shit's gonna happen. I was gonna try and find a clever way of tying $200 million into a subtle cheeky shout out, but I couldn't, so I'm gonna do it abruptly. Go to
So
usecheeky.com and
Damn.
use code LUCKY for our St. Patrick's Day sale, where you can get 10% off all of our soap.
Oh yeah,
It's the
happy
best
St.
soap in the
Patrick's Day.
universe.
Why didn't I?
In fact, if
oh
you
my
use
God,
Cheeky,
I'm such a fucking
over
idiot.
200 million.
It's fucking St. Patrick's Day, man. It's like literally the day of my people. So stupid. 1 second. Huh. Oh, there they are. Nice. Oh shit! Got my fucking clovers on, baby. All right, that's what I'm doing. Let's change the name of this. Oh fuck. Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, smoking that green. Alright. Can't I hear anything? Oh. Alright.
Beings across the universe will say that you look
Oh.
and smell great. You look.
I also did get teeth, but I don't have them in right now. So, yeah. Plus, nobody's watching, and I don't think anybody will be watching. So, it doesn't really matter, does it? I don't know. I really think maybe I should switch back to just streaming on YouTube. You know what I mean? Because at least they like keep your shit and like, I mean, if I'm not gonna make any money anyway, like, I don't ever watch it on Twitch, like ever. I never use it. I use YouTube religiously, and it's just funny to me that I mean, I post the videos to YouTube, but nobody watches those either, so I just don't know what to do, man.
Real clean. So yeah, let's use cheeky.com, and the code is
Gotta
lucky
have
for
a
the
fucking
10%
variety
off. Now to
show
sum
or
up the
something.
lore here, he
Or
was a League of
titties.
Legends streamer named Lickrit, and he was
That's what it
suspended.
is. I don't have titties. Fuck. If I just had some big titties, it would be so easy. Although, they would probably get pretty old pretty quickly. But then again, it wouldn't. Because I'd be like supporting myself. So, I totally get it, but it is freaky how many people are like out, you know, putting themselves like fully out there, you know what I mean? Online forever and ever. And now like AI's out, so like I don't think anybody's really like thought about how that will affect people who put like naked pictures on the internet or at all. But I don't know, some people just don't care. Oh.
In 2022, after the invasion of Ukraine, and the U.S. imposed sanctions, and
You know
he
what?
was banned as a result.
I don't even care if they fucking mute my stream. I just want to listen to music. Am I allowed to do that? Because I really just want to play some music. Hold on a second. I just want to do my thing, you know? Like, where's my phone? Oh. I have a fucking computer right in front of me. I could probably just look it up that way. Here, let's try Copilot. Let's see what fucking Copilot has to say about this. Why is it? Oh, it's because it's against it. Okay. Alright, Copilot. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Can I play music on Twitch? Okay. So it basically says, like, it's gonna mute the video, the VOD, but I'm so confused. Hold on. So, like, if I let's see, can I review music on Twitch and YouTube? Oh, okay, so this has to be like transformative, so like, fuck it, man. Nobody watches the VODs anyway. I don't really care. Alright, so after this video, I'm gonna play some music.
Result. His father is also a Russian oligarch who apparently has some pretty close ties to Putin. After being banished to the Shadow Realm and not receiving payments from Twitch as a result of the sanctions, he took it to a Russian court in June and October of 2022, which Twitch called a violation of its terms of service. The first lawsuit was dismissed without prejudice, but the second one, well, the Russian law decided that that's got some meat on its bones. That one's got some real oomph to it, some pep in its step, and said that it violated his rights by suspending and demonetizing his accounts. So, the Russian court demanded that Twitch restore the account or pay a compounding penalty for non-compliance, basically the naughty boy penalty, where if you don't play ball and bend the knee to the most outrageous of demands, it's going to get worse. And Twitch, since they haven't reinstated the account, is racking up a fine of 100,000 rubles each day the account is not reinstated, and doubling each week without limit,
See, that's what I
per
thought.
Twitch's lawsuit, which has reached astronomical levels. That's the exact same John Madden playbook textbook maneuver we saw Russia use against Google. The compounding penalty of 1,000 rubles every day and doubling each week. That's how you've reached these 2.5 decillion and now $200 million fines. More money than exists on the planet, no doubt.
Oh, you can only
And
interact
it's
with one thing.
this
at
is
a
their
time.
go-to, it seems, in Russian courts if they're going to penalize a company. It looks like they go for this compounding penalty anime finishing move. This is their Kamehameha. Like, it seems like this is pretty common, and I'm only just now learning about how frequent it is. I kind of want to take a plunge into some other notable court cases in Russia just to see if they do this for everything. Like, a baker sold you stale bread, you took him to court, and now he owes you 1,000 rubles every day that you've had to have that stale bread in your intestinal tract, and it doubles each week without limit. Like, I just wonder how often that's used. You know what I mean? Because now we've seen 2 instances of it, and it's just comical. I'm sure Twitch is going to fork over $200 million any day now. I can already just see the League of Legends streamer doing this with his hands like, we won, we did it, so any day now that money's going to be hitting my piggy bank. Like, yeah, I'm sure Twitch is going to start
they're gonna
feeling
get
the
right on
pressure
that.
of this imaginary money demand very soon.
I agree.
Like, you might as well be suing Twitch for glorbluckles. Like, it's actual nonsense
fuck.
gibberish here, because these numbers are not reasonable at all. It's phony baloney. Like, you can't actually enforce them no matter what.
What
But
is
it's not
going
stopping
on?
them from trying. And I really appreciate that chutzpah, because it is fucking amazing. A Twitch
hold on,
lawyer
the
said
internet
because
is,
this
like,
penalty doubles each week,
fucked
it
right now.
purportedly
Did we lose the stream? What the fuck? Why does this happen randomly? That's so strange. Dropped frames 97.5. How's that even possible? Is my computer just like shit in the bed right now? God damn it. Alright. I have to go right now anyway. I completely forgot. A freaking doctor appointment. Alright. I will be back streaming probably later today. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the internet. I think I didn't boost the RAM thing, which usually, god damn, it's like really bad. I don't even know if you can see this. There's nothing here taking up the Wi-Fi. Whoa, oh, there it goes. Now it's completely fine. That's wonderful. It literally was just the computer. Alright, we're gonna go to the outro. Thank you for, if anybody was watching, I'll put the links in the description at the end of this. And then we'll be good. All right. Thank you for watching. Hope everybody has an awesome morning.